The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. When do you usually get that perfect Christmas feeling? That sense that the spirit of Christmas has finally arrived? Is it when you're making your way through the drizzle and the crowds to do the Christmas shopping? Probably not. Is it when you put the fairy or the angel or the star or whatever on top of the Christmas tree and then turn on all the twinkly lights? Is it when you taste that first sip of Christmas sherry or sparkling wine? Or halfway through the first bottle? Or when that perfect combination of gravy, Brussels sprout, roast potato or parsnip, delete as applicable, rests on your satiated tongue? Is it when you see the children unwrapping their Christmas presents, if there are any children, or any presents? Is it when that pure, clear, treble voice sings out the first line of Once in Royal, whether on Radio 4 or here in church? Or perhaps it's Slade, or Wizard, or Cliff, or the Pogues, or Bing, or Nat, or maybe it's Kylie that does it for you? Or what if that Christmas feeling never comes? Or if it comes and then it goes? Or it gets put back into the boxes after the trees come down and the ornaments and the tinsel? That's the trouble with emotions. They are so unreliable, or they can be. They come and they go, and we have no control over them. Anyone who has experience of grief, for example, knows that. Feelings can overwhelm and overpower us, or they can fail to turn up on time or at exactly the right moment. Or we have the right emotions, but at the wrong time. Emotions that don't match those around us, or the season, or the occasion, or whatever. We wouldn't want to be a robot or Mr. Spock, or conversely our pet dog, but in some ways that might be somewhat easier. Emotions, however, are what make us human. Rabbi Lionel Blue, you may remember him, explains that it's emotions that can tell us the truth. Not the truth about everything, but about something, about us. Emotions, he says, are more honest than our minds, and less deceptive than our intellect, and less manipulative than our imaginations. We should trust and respect our emotions, whatever they might be telling us, or trying to tell us. But sometimes it takes some sense of discernment to work it all out. Sometimes it's obvious. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's obvious, but we need some time to take it all in. On Monday, last Monday, YouGov conducted a survey of 7,112 UK adults. The question put to them was, how Christmassy, if at all, do you currently feel? Very, fairly, not very, or not Christmassy at all? Only 9% said very, 36% said fairly Christmassy, and a combined total of 54% responded either not at all or not very. And 1% didn't know. To be fair, it was still Advent. Christmas hadn't even begun. But I do wonder how those representatives of the UK population are feeling now, and what they might be doing. Coming to church on Christmas Day should help, even when you're a vicar. Even Richard Dawkins, I am told, can get somewhat ungrinchy after a good congregational Christmassy sing-song, Oxford style. It's emotions that make us human. They can tell us the truth, what is true, if not about everything, but about how we're doing, how we're coping or not coping with the world, with the news, with each other, with everything. And wherever you might be on that Christmassy scale, today or tomorrow or on Boxing Day, whether you're a very, a fairly, a not at all, a tentatively, a not very, or a don't know, here are some thoughts from the pulpit, as much for me as for you. And more importantly, thoughts in the light of the Christian tradition, handed down over all those many centuries, 900 of them under these arches, that people have heard and reflected and pondered about, worshipping here generation after generation, as they celebrate what we call the Incarnation, how God was made man in Palestine and lives today in bread and wine, to quote John Betjeman. In Christian theology, Christmas isn't something we can sit down and work out, as if it's like a debate, when we can listen to both sides and then make up our minds. It's not like a problem to be solved that our heads can grapple with and resolve like a scientific or philosophical deduction. Instead, we call it a mystery. Not a cop-out, but something very deep that we need to ponder and reflect upon. Not just for one day or for 12 days, but for day after day after day. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. What has come into being in him was life, and the life was the light of all people. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not overcome it. Our emotions tell us about deeper truths, deeper and impenetrable mysteries. We can take them for granted, partly because we're familiar with the simple words we use to describe them, even simpler words than Christmas, which make them seem like ordinary things, but they're much more than just that. They're extraordinary, or to use a more theological word, they're supernatural. Those simple words are ones you know well: faith and hope and love, which the New Testament tells us are three invisible things that we should never take for granted, which we need more than anything, which are revealed to us through each other, and which last forever. And the greatest of the three is love. Love born of a woman in Judea. That story we're still telling ourselves and still puzzling about year after year, decade after decade, century after century. If we are to enter that mystery and kneel, as it were, before the Christmassy crib, we need to suspend disbelief and to enter the Christmas story. Mary and Joseph and the shepherds and the wise men were not feeling very Christmassy, but they did have feelings. Fear, terror, amazement, hope, faith, love. When we come to church at Christmas, we expect the vicar to tell us something about coming to worship a very special baby. But actually, that's not Christian theology. He was an ordinary baby, born in difficult and exceptional circumstances, of an ordinary mother, and to be raised in an ordinary, if a devoted and deeply loving and caring family. Ordinary, because every human baby is ordinary and also special. Ordinary because everyone, every human being is ordinary and also special. Because we are made to know love and what love means. Not to keep it, but to share it, to give it away. Why? Because each of us was created in the image and likeness of God. We can forget that easily, because sometimes we don't behave as though we're made in the image of God. Or because we know we're ordinary. But we're special too, or we can be, if we can let God be God within us and through us. So emotions are important, but only because they contain and reveal something deeper and much more important. Emotions are like the tinsel and the wrapping paper, because eventually we need to take the tinsel down, but not before we've taken away the wrapping paper and found what's inside us, what's inside each of us, and then wear it on the outside. What has come into being in him was life, and the life was the light of all people. We're created not just to be emotional, but to know what it means to love. Emotions are layers, love is deeper and deeper and deeper and forever. Knowing what it means to love means that we know what it means to be human, often at a cost and never superficially, sometimes enclosed by light, sometimes as we live in relative darkness. But what it means is to live not for ourselves but for others. What it means to be reflective of the image and likeness of God, and to show that love, not through our own strength, but through the light that is the gift to all of us, the gift that overwhelms us, the gift that lasts forever. To show that love, not only at Christmas time, but always.